Hello, everybody. This is Andy, and welcome to episode 14 of Celestial Journey. I think that's the episode we're on. And in this episode, we're going to primarily focus on fixing some of our infrastructure issues. Well, they're not really issues, it's just they could be better. First things first, this thing needs to go somewhere else. We need to set up an automation for the runic altar. We need to set up an automation for the petal apothecary. We need to probably make a new blood altar. And yeah, we just need to continue progressing. I probably need to make some more runes, to make some more augments. What else is there? Oh, we do want to fight the Gaia Guardian so we can get the next tier infusion crystal, which will be the intermedium, which requires just some Gaia spheres. That's actually not that bad. And yeah, so let me go ahead and figure out what I want to do first, and I will be right back. Okay, so here is the first automation of the day, the terrestrial agglomeration plate. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm sending the ingredients for it, the mana pearl, mana diamond, and mana steel ingot, excuse me, into this impulse hopper right here. That is then, as soon as it has all three inputs, dropping into this open crate, which drops directly below onto the terrestrial agglomeration plate. And then as that ingot transforms, nothing will happen to these items, but once it is finished transforming, it will get picked up by this vacuumulator that has been filtered to Terra Steel ingots, and then it gets pushed directly back into the ME system. There's no way really of checking if I have a full, if I have enough mana to do the craft, so that's why the mana buffer is going to be just so incredibly large. But yeah, we should be fine on mana. Hopefully, once we have 49 mana pools full, we should never need more than like 80 Terra Steel at once. And I believe there's a seed for it actually. So once we get to tier 5 extreme crafting, we can go ahead and make this as well. One thing you'll notice, however, is that if I choose to craft this, the ME system will tell me it doesn't know how to make mana diamonds, mana pearls. It also doesn't know how to make mana steel ingots. It just has some of that stuff in storage. So we need to set up crafting mana pools, and I'm probably gonna do that right out in front over here. Probably just like this. I think this would be good. And we'll change where the runic altar goes. It's not going to go right here, I promise. So these three guys are going to get sparks. They're going to get sparks with dominant augments, so they will pull mana from the mana pools up there, and these things will be the first to fill up. And it looks like they've probably pulled all of the mana from these guys already. Yep. So these things will be the first to fill up, and then we can use mana elsewhere. But we want to have crafting available before anything else, and most times, because these are the things that are going to be used most commonly. So we're going to have an alchemy catalyst, a normal mana pool, and the conjuration catalyst. I don't know if we can make the conjuration catalyst at the moment. I guess, yeah, actually we could. It wouldn't be that bad either. I just have to make another alchemy catalyst, which is actually really easy as well. I'll put it on my list of things to do. All right, and for the mana pools, we're going to do something similar. We're going to push into interfaces, then into open crates, into the mana pools. I have these accumulators, which will be set on whitelist mode, and I will only set items that can be used in this specific mana pool to that specific accumulator. Hopefully we won't run into any overlap. If we do, I might have to, make special mana pools somewhere else just for specific items. But for now, this should work just fine. I'm not going to put any inner or any patterns in right now because I don't really need any. But yeah, that's that automation done. And should I want to, make some recipes, I can just shove it in the mana pool interface and whitelist the item to get picked up right here. So next thing I think is probably the petal apothecary. This is a more involved automation. First things first, we need to automate the filling of the petal apothecary, which I will do right now. And here we go. The contraption is actually pretty easy. You need a mechanical user, a fluid tank, and some endervores to fill up the fluid tank. We're just filling buckets with water, so you can put a bucket in here. It will just fill itself with water. And then we're using filters to extract and insert into the mechanical user. So we have insert filtered on water buckets, so only water buckets can go in there, not empty buckets, and extract filters on normal buckets, so only buckets can come out of there, and the buckets need to come out of there because this thing will very happily take the water out of the petal apothecary. I know this has been changed in later versions in 1.16, but in this version, the mechanical user will very happily remove the water from the petal apothecary with automation. So yeah, now all we need to do is automate the dropping of things. And I believe this thing emits a comparator signal compared to very similar to how the runic altar does. So what we should be able to do is detect when items are in there, detect when the seed is ready to be dropped to craft the flower, and detect when the craft has completely finished. So let's go ahead and check that actually. I'm going to grab some redstone and just make a little line like this. Ooh, you are at 15 already. That's full redstone signal. Wait, what? Okay, so maybe this thing doesn't emit a comparator signal. I don't think that actually matters. The petal apothecary is actually really, really easy to automate. We can just put the seed in the recipe, and the seed will happily sit on top of the petal apothecary before the craft is ready to finish. So if we throw that in there now, it will just automatically craft, and we should be good to go. Okay, and here we go. I think this is the full automation. We can go ahead and test it out by ordering up here Daisy. I put the recipe in. It knows how to make the white petals because I taught it that at some point. It throws the seed on first, and then it throws that on, and then it should collect it because I set the filter for it, and the craft should be marked as complete. Perfect. Energized. I've only got 53, so I need to make like 1,000 more of these. Go for it. I realize I recorded the end of that last clip with basically no context. If you remember correctly, energized, what is it called? Energized alloy, energetic alloy, is used in the crafting of sparks, and I still need a good chunk more sparks, probably like 20 or so for this. But yeah. All right. I lied when I said this was one of the more involved ones. This one right here, the runic altar, is the most involved one, and there's probably 100, 1,000 different ways of automating it. I'm gonna do it probably in my own way, I think. I'm not gonna look up anything, but basically the setup we have right now is I have a mana pool with a dominant spark on it. I have the runic altar here. We have a comparator right here, so we can measure the signal off of it. I don't know if I'll actually measure directly into a redstone line, or I will... Actually, I think I have to measure directly into a redstone line, don't I? Huh, because we need to measure signals 1 and 2. Actually, oh, we can measure into a redstone line and then into redstone conduits from there, because we can just do this. Do I have redstone conduits? I do. We can hook up a redstone conduit to this one, and then to this one, and then we can just disconnect them so they're different. That was not what I wanted to do. Then we can disconnect them so they're different lines. So I'm gonna go ahead and start crafting a rune of gluttony on here. We're gonna need more Kekamerses anyways, so it's a good rune to craft. And as you can see, the redstone signal 1 means that the crafting has begun. You can use this in order to lock a dropper of some sort and stop items from going on here, and that's exactly what we're gonna do actually. And then as it finishes up, you can see a little check mark. It emits a redstone signal of 2 at the source, 1 here. We can repeat this into... Actually, I probably will just go ahead and repeat this so we don't have any issues with signal strength. We can send this into another dropper and drop the living rock onto here and then whack it with our wand. That's going to require another mechanical user. So let me order that up right now. I'm going to finish up this. Do I just have one? Oh no, that's mechanical miner. Mechanical user. I need a resonance strongbox. I'm going to finish up most of this automation and I'll be right back. Oh, also, if you didn't know, these strong boxes are actually really nice for any pack that has thermal expansion in it, but isn't super, like, how do I even put this? It isn't super technologically advanced, I guess, or you're playing a Greg Tech pack and it has thermal expansion, because these strong boxes can hold that many items, and I'm sure if you enchant it with holding, yeah, it can be enchanted to increase storage. It'll be like the entire screen of storage. So if you can get your hands on one of these resonant ones at the beginning game of like FTB interactions or something like that, oh, you'll be good to go. Okay, so let's go through the entire process for this like first bottom half. So we put our crafting items on, it begins crafting, and that will eventually send up and lock the thing. Oh, I'm entirely out of power. That's unfortunate. So this thing will finish crafting up. It's pretty quick because of the mana spreaders, which is nice. And then once it gets to this redstone signal of 2, it should pulse this right here, which sends the redstone pulse to this mechanical user, which, as you just saw, drops a living wood onto this guy, and then this thing is always activating this block with the wand, because there's no reason not to. There's no reason to set up an automation, connect it to this, only pulse it once, yada yada yada. Not worth it. Now we just need to set up the top version. Okay, so here's the automation I'm thinking. So you've already seen the bottom half. The top half is slightly different. And I'm going through all this because Botania is a little bit confusing to automate. It's not difficult. You just need to know how to use redstone at least a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie and pretend that I'm good at redstone, but yeah. Okay, so we want to output the signal from this comparator here, or from this redstone repeater here, from the first signal. What that's going to do is once there's a valid recipe, the item dropper will stop dropping items. That means even if the IMI interface is fast enough to shove a second recipe in here, even on blocking mode, it won't be able to drop the rest of the items. At least I don't think. It shouldn't, because I'm only ticking this every 20 seconds, and if you apply a redstone signal to the timer stops pulsing. So what we should be able to do is throw all of this in here. It will slowly get dropped onto the runic altar, begin crafting, and it will stop letting this thing go. Now, I did notice that this got a little bit low. It got very, very close to 0, and I don't want it to accidentally tick an extra item when we're using this for automation purposes. That should do that, and the things will get shoved back onto the runic altar if you don't pick them up fast enough. So the next step is once this is detected, we want to send a redstone pulse to a vacuumulator, so it can pick up every item that is left over as soon as the craft has finished. The way that I'm going to do this, I think, actually, is I'm going to have a redstone line come here, and then I'm going to have some repeaters, and then we're going to delay the signal by maybe, I don't know, half a second, quarter second. And it was bugging me a little bit that I built the whole platform and then barely used any of it. Now it's going to bug me that it's off center, but, you know, we're just not going to think about that because I'm not going to come up here very often, I don't think. Okay, so the system should be fully ready to go. I just need to make 2 more mana diamonds. I guess I could shove the recipe for this into the mana pool and craft these automatically, but we'll do that later. Once we're actually automating the runic altar for like use, I can shove. Oh, I should have. We already know the item dropper works. It's not really an issue. So the crafting recipe should go, and I'll come back when this is done. All right, we're just about to finish up. What we should see is it should do that, and then it should pulse this, and everything got sucked into here and shoved into here. Okay, perfect. So I just need to, you know, connect this up to the actual IMI system. Where is the closest connection? Probably gonna be right here. And all the items have left the IMI interface. They should leave like that as well. And that's the runic altar automated. Why don't we shove in an actual recipe and make sure this fully works on its own before I, you know, leave it for dead. I'm not going to put the recipe in for the mana diamonds, but what I can do is say I need a rune of gluttony. I already have the recipe, I guess, which is 2 mana diamonds, 2 runes of winter, 2 fire. I can only order one of these at a time because I only have 2 runes of winter, but this should be quite alright. gluttony. Nope, that's not how you spell gluttony. Gluttony, like this. And it says it has everything. It should shove everything into the item dropper. Okay, things are going. Slowly, because, you know, it only ticks every second and a half, but that's perfectly fine. That should stop. Ooh, I think it did an extra tick there. That's not what we want. So maybe we'll tick it every 2 seconds, just to make sure. And that looks perfect to me. This thing is ticking again, but it's not going to actually ever succeed in dropping anything unless I actually request it. And I think we're good. We have 7 runes of gluttony. And you know what we can do with these 7 runes of gluttony? We can make the rest of my Kekamuruses. I don't know if we have the cake production to support this, but I want to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, so we have extra runes of gluttony. These will probably not be used in anything unless I want, like, the wither flower, which probably isn't reasonable right now. Kekamurus recipe is this. I'm gonna make it, and I'll be right back. Okay, I did craft it using our automation, and I actually had to change it slightly because I realized that earlier recipe, or the earlier setup, just wasn't really going to work, because we do have to input into a buffer if we want to craft these at a reasonable speed, I'm pretty sure, because it'll only shove one part of the recipe into the open crate per time. So what I'm doing is I'm shoving the entire recipe on blocking mode into the chest. I have a speed downgrade in here so it doesn't overlap recipes, because this thing's a little bit slow at filling up the Petal Apothecary, and it does sometimes still, you know, take the water away before it replaces it and gets the bucket, you know, extracted. That's kind of rare, I think, but I did see it happen once during these 5 crafts. But yeah, nothing to really worry about, just a buffer chest, nothing super huge. And what I can do now is place all 5 of these, and what we'll see is that this mana spreader cannot even close to keep up. So we need to upgrade our mana spreaders now. Okay, these spreaders are a little obnoxious to make because they actually use up the awakened activation crystal. It's just a nether star, but also it's still a nether star. What I think I'm going to do actually is center this slightly better, even though it's going to off-center kind of everything. Nothing's super clean here. It doesn't really matter to me as long as things work. So this is still recessive. I'm going to put 3 spreaders directly in here. These are going to push into this mana pool. I made potency lenses for all of them so they can transfer more mana, and I just need to go through and link these guys to their own mana spreader. This middle one I think is going to get 3 flowers, but all the rest will only get 2. We should more than easily be able to keep up, right? Oh yeah, because these things just dumped their entire stuff into here. And hopefully what we're seeing is a bunch of mana pools going up here. I think I also have managed to fill out every single spark in here except for these 2, which probably can be done now, hopefully. Yeah, I think so. Spark 1, 2, and we should be done filling up this, unless I missed one, which we won't figure out until we start backlogging mana. Another thing we should probably keep an eye on, right now we are net positive on cakes. That was before I added the 5 new flowers. I think we're going to be either very close to equal or slightly negative, and the main reason that is happening is because my cow one is running out, I think. Yeah, my cow essence is the bottleneck because we use 12 of this per craft per cake, and we use like what, half of one? No, we use 1/8 of a chicken essence. So yeah, they're being produced at the same rate too. So as soon as we can get an imaginary time block over there, we should have no issue keeping up. I just might have to put a couple of speed upgrades in some of these mechanical crafters. Something you can't really see also, but like maybe just barely inside there occasionally, I added sparks to this thing with dominant augments, so these mana pools will slowly start to fill up, and we should never have to worry about our portal closing while we're crafting. We've done a ton of Botania today, but I think we're just going to finish off fully automating Botania for now, and make the trading with the elves automated as well. How do I want to do this is the question, because I probably want it to be pretty quick, but I don't know if formation planes are the way to go. It might be, formation planes might be the way to go. And all right, there we go. That's the automation. I know this place is kind of gross, and very cramped in some ways, but I also think it looks kind of cool in some other ways. Just like the massive automation for Botania, it looks pretty awesome. So for this thing, I am going to test and see if this Vicumulator, which does have a filter for mana pearls now, will suck the mana pearls that are being dumped into the this consistently or like at all. I'm hoping the answer is not at all. I don't think I have any pixie dust in here, do I? I have 12 pixie dust, so we'll keep that in mind. It should get sucked into this Vicumulator. Believe it or not, we're using another Vicumulator and shoved into here. We're not going to use blocking mode. It doesn't really matter. And wow, they all got shoved instantly. And I think since they're being transported directly into the block, we're not going to have any issues. If I was dropping it from, say, a block further back, there might be some problems, but we should be good. And with the addition of the last dominant spark being added back onto here, I initially stole it to shove up here, but I made some more fire runes. At some point, I made like 4 crafts of it, so, you know, we're good here. But I think that's probably going to be all the time I have for today. I've spent quite a while automating all these things, and I think we're already quite a bit into the clips. We're probably closing in on half an hour, if I had to guess. Now, don't take my word for it. I'm quite bad at guessing how long videos are based on my track record, but you know, we should be fine. Next time, let's come back, get another Blood Altar going, and maybe try and jump into the Gaia Guardian fight. That's something I wanted to do today. I guess we could. I just have to wait like an hour for this to get set up, and then we'd have to kill some more withers, and we'll probably just save it for next time. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe leave a like or something. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.